Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we are taking a really fascinating, deep dive into a topic that affects, well, practically all of us, but is rarely fully unpacked. We're looking at the actual nuts and bolts mechanics of why people stay poor. Because it's not just about bad luck, you know? It's a very recognizable system. Today, we're unpacking the exact traps that keep people financially stuck, and how recognizing these mechanics is really that crucial first step to breaking free. So let's figure this out together.
Okay, let's dive into this. I want you to imagine two friends. They grew up in the exact same neighborhood, went to the exact same school, and actually even landed jobs with nearly identical starting salaries. But flash forward 10 years, and their lives look completely different. Friend A, they are drowning in debt. They're living paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed about money, juggling car payments alongside those brutal credit card minimums. But then you look at friend B. They've got investments, robust savings, growing assets, and are totally on track toward absolute financial freedom. So what happened here? How can two people start at the exact same starting line and end up in entirely different financial universes?
It brings us to the ultimate question. Why do people stay poor? I mean, do people who struggle with money simply work less than wealthy people? Are the wealthy just luckier? Or is there something much, much deeper going on right beneath the surface? What we're going to uncover today in this explainer is that escaping the middle-class struggle is actually way more about the psychology of our everyday behavior than it is about our actual income. There are 4 specific mechanical traps at play here.
Trap 1. The salary trap. Trading your time for money.
Now, what's really interesting about this is how ingrained it is. Let's investigate our very first suspect. This is the baseline societal formula taught to almost every single one of us from a super young age. It's literally so embedded in our culture that we rarely ever think to question it. Step 1, study hard. Step 2, get good grades. Step 3, find a stable job. Step 4, work for 40 years. And finally, Step 5, retire comfortably. We all know this list by heart, right? But the reality is, it doesn't always play out like this nice, neat sequence anymore. Following this default formula leads the vast majority of people to spend their entire lives simply trading their precious hours for dollars.
The catcher is, a salary can make you comfortable, sure, but by itself, it rarely makes you wealthy. And why is that? Because the exact moment you stop working, your income stops too. Your earning potential is hard-capped by the number of hours in a single day. You are the sole engine generating the cash, and if the engine needs a break, or, heaven forbid, gets sick, the money stops flowing completely. You are exchanging a completely finite resource, your time, for a resource that consistently loses value to inflation.
Trap 2. The EMI danger. The illusion of affordability.
So that sheer reliance on a steady paycheck pushes people directly into this dangerous illusion of affordability, mostly brought to you by bite-sized equated monthly installments, or EMIs. Today, you can buy almost anything on a monthly payment plan. A shiny new smartphone, a nice car, a relaxing vacation, even luxury clothing items. When you look at the monthly payment for just one of these things, it seems incredibly small. It feels totally harmless. But honestly, that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. One single EMI doesn't seem like much, but when you slowly stack 5 or 6 of these different monthly payments together, they quietly eat up a massive portion of your future earnings.
I really want you to let this reality sink in for a second. You are spending tomorrow's income today. With every new EMI, you are essentially mortgaging your own future labor. When you have too many of these structured payments, you cross a terrifying threshold. You're no longer working to build wealth. You are literally merely working to pay bills. You've essentially trapped yourself on a treadmill where your future paycheck is already spent before it even hits your bank account.
Trap 3. Credit cards. The gateway to overspending.
Now, let's be clear, credit cards are not inherently bad. They can actually be pretty powerful financial tools if used right. But psychologically, they act as a dangerous gateway. Studies actually show people are willing to spend up to 100% more when using a credit card versus physical cash. Wild, right? But it all comes down to a fundamental disconnect in human psychology. You get the immediate joy of the purchase today, but the pain of parting with your hard-earned money? That's delayed. You get to worry about the payment later. This cognitive gap makes it dangerously easy to just swipe now and completely ignore the consequences.
And this brilliantly illustrates the real danger here: compounding. It's the force that creates millionaires or lifelong debt. It's the ultimate double-edged sword. When you don't pay those credit card balances in full every single month, those high interest rates begin to compound against you. And the great irony here is that the exact same mathematical force of compound interest that wealthy people use to effortlessly grow their fortunes
Well, it's the exact same force that keeps others trapped in a quicksand of never-ending minimum payments.
Let's move to Trap 4 and see how this builds. Lifestyle inflation. Higher earnings, but no wealth. This trap explores such a frustrating paradox. Imagine your salary completely doubles tomorrow. Logic tells us your savings rate should absolutely skyrocket, right? But instead, what usually happens is that as your income goes up, your expenses shoot up right alongside it to match. It completely prevents real wealth creation because literally every new dollar earned is immediately assigned to a new elevated lifestyle expense.
Come on, we've all seen this happen. You get a promotion, and suddenly you feel like you need a bigger apartment. You trade in your perfectly good vehicle for a newer car. You start hitting up more expensive restaurants. You buy better gadgets. The lifestyle upgrades instantly eat up the extra income. The result is higher earnings, but absolutely no real wealth. This is exactly why you can find high-income earners who still find themselves struggling financially, basically living paycheck to high-end paycheck. Their bucket is getting more water poured in for sure, but the holes at the bottom, they just keep getting wider.
And that brings us to the big reveal, the true root cause.
So, the crucial point is this. We've analyzed the salary trap, EMIs, credit cards, and lifestyle inflation. What is the ultimate difference between the friend drowning in debt and the one building immense wealth? It all comes down to this. Wealth is not determined by how much you earn, it is determined by how much you keep and invest. Let that really sink in. Your income is not your wealth. Remember friend A and friend B? They had the exact same salary. The difference was entirely in their psychological behavior with the money once it hit their bank accounts.
Which reveals the true root cause keeping people locked in these cycles, a lack of financial education. You see, the standard system teaches us how to earn a salary, absolutely, but it rarely teaches us how money actually works, how to avoid the EMI trap, how to properly leverage credit, or how to fight off lifestyle inflation. Without understanding the systemic mechanics of capital, even a massive higher earner will remain perpetually stuck in the rat race.
Which leaves us with this final, highly important question for you to consider today. Is your financial behavior building assets or just paying bills? Take a really hard look at your own monthly habits. Are you falling into the traps we outlined today? Realizing how these mechanics work is the very first step toward true financial freedom. The power to escape the trap is entirely in your hands, but it starts with changing your behavior through financial education. I really hope this explainer sparks a brand new perspective on your financial journey. Keep learning, keep questioning the default mechanics, and start building your real wealth today.